Hey there guys, girls and everyone in between and outside of it, and welcome back to another episode of Nimby Rails. And we start with the look on the entire network, because I am a little bit proud, let's say it like that the entirety of Rail Baltica between Tallinn and Warszawa is finished by now. Especially the tracks between Kaunas and Warszawa had been a lot of work, and we finally actually have the double traction pendolinos in game. So here they are, actually about to meet. Great timing. So let me just zoom in onto the open track and let's wait for them to pass this location. So the double pendolinos are basically the equivalent of the Rail Baltica trains I use inside the Baltics. So inside the Baltics, you remember, or you maybe remember, that I use the TGVs on every single route that exists. And between Tallinn and Riga, I still have the old ICEs in, and I have to replace them by TGVs. I wanted to do this since a few months, but you know how it goes in Nimby Rails. I never got down to it. So TGVs in the Baltics, pendolinos inside of Poland, and with that I would say, welcome to Poland. Warsaw, the city that we will get used to. Not because it is a bad city with a bad design, but because it is one of the bigger cities of the network, not even the bigger city. It is the biggest city that we will have to connect in the near future. In the intro you may have already seen that there's another line. I have created the line towards, again, the Belarusian border, towards Siedlce. How are you supposed to pronounce this? I have no clue. I'm not Polish, once again. And the line continues all the way down towards Lukow. This is one of a more regional hub. You can see it's a bigger station, 4 tracks. I might add 1 or 2 more. And when I activate the overlay of existing railways, you can see here there's a curve towards the north. There's this triangle towards the east. And it connects the region with one of the more important lines towards Warsaw. The line we will focus on today goes down to the city of Lukow, and I haven't created the station yet. So this is what we'll go down to, and while the timelapse of the station will be shown here, I want to tell you a little bit about how the city will force me to create interesting schedules and interesting solutions. And also this line is one of the solutions, because I want to solve a problem before it starts, and the problem is the Eurocity. When it departs from I think Zachodnia, yes. Passengers are only allowed to board the train. So if you want to go from Zachodnia to Wychodnia, you can't take the Eurocity, and that is intentional. But this also means that in the current way this network works, there's no way to get from one side of the city to the other side. I mean, you could go via Bialystok, but who would do that? Right, train geeks, who would do that? With the regional line, this will be fixed. The line will start at Zachodnia, somewhere on these lower platforms here, will then run parallel, which means that the city core, the 4 tracks through the city, will be used entirely. So the speedy tracks, I would call them, that don't stop, they are already in use. We will also have the train stop at every single station. And then there will be a connection between Zachodnia and Wychodnia for the passengers, but I could talk too much about that. Let's get into the time-lapse of Lukow station. A little bit earlier I told you that during the time-lapse I will tell you what will make the capital city of Poland so special. And it is not because it is Polish or because it's the capital of Poland, but because it's a big city, and big cities in Nimby Rails can be a very big challenge sometimes. There's a very normal reason why quite a lot of people play in Tokyo or start in big cities with big networks. You have a lot to do, and the challenge of that is interesting, at least. Because when you have quite a lot of stations and quite a lot of lines, you also start to have a 4-dimensional puzzle. You have to take into consideration the space that you need, the time that the trains need, how many trains you can run parallel, how many trains you can run behind each other, and it's a very difficult work to get all the trains into one city when it's a huge city and you have a lot of regional trains. So Warsaw will be the biggest puzzle we will have in this series, but I'm happy to take this challenge. In a very bare-bone version, the line is basically ready. I only have to build it, and then it will look way better than just a blue line in the landscape. So this is how it looks when it is done. Let me disable the map labels and you see just another line of gray. Nothing more than that. The line itself will be super simple, and I will just go through while I set it up. Once again, all I need is the basic mode because I'm not too scared of it looking bad in the end. I have already decided on platform number 6 at Zachodnia, and then we will use the parallel tracks. So you can already see that there's kind of a corridor slowly starting to... Yeah, I mean, here you can really see it. It's the 4-track corridor that's already done. Everything is built and will soon also be in service. So I'm quite happy on how fast we are getting ahead at this save. So let me just go through the stations, which are between Zachodnia and Wyszotnia. At Wyszotnia itself, I have decided for this kind of layout in the southern tracks. So 2 in each direction for the regional trains. In this case, I will use 16 and 13. When leaving the city, we have the 4-track corridor once again on the outside the Eurocities, on the inside the regional trains, and after that it is just putting down the regional stops. It is not an express service, it's just a basic regional train service. So yeah, I forgot the one-way signals there, but that's not a problem. It is just a regional service. It will stop everywhere at every small station, no matter how big it is, to serve all the people and to funnel them into the network, because that is what we are here for. We want the people in the network, nowhere else. What I have done here, I don't even understand it myself. What have I done? Let's just go back. Oh, I remember. I did not remember how that went. So let's just go through all the stations. Nimby Rails, the train station clicking simulator. I think that the other regional lines that go into the same region, the same direction from Warszawa, they will cover this quite well. So I'm not too scared of just putting it into 1 train per hour and then accepting the fate. Because if they are just overcrowded down the line, there are 2 options: upgrade the rolling stock, or option number 2, update or upgrade, in this case, the frequency. Yes, and we're already at the last stop. We have 74 stops, 247 kilometers of running distance. And for me, there's one thing I will do before this video ends, and that is schedule a line. And there's one simple rule for the schedule, that is Wyszotnia station is a very important part. Let me just do single columns. So you can see track number 6. At the 29th minute of an hour, the Eurocity will depart, and that will also be the time the regional train departs at Wyszotnia. So that is what I'm going to do, and see you in a second. I just changed the color of the line from white to blue as I took it into service, and you can see most of the trains are not even spawned in yet. Let me just speed up the gameplay, or the in-game speed, a little bit, and you can see the regional train departing the stadium station, and then arriving at Wyszotnia just a little bit ahead of the Eurocity, which means passengers can go down, change tracks, go to the platform of the Eurocity, go into the Eurocity, and then both trains leave at the same time with the passengers towards the Baltic nations or towards Lukow. The Eurocity actually departs a little bit slower than the regional train, but it just looks beautiful how they snake out of the station going onto the main line. On the main line, the Eurocity has the advantage once again because the outer tracks are a little bit faster, and the regional train has to stop at Romberto station, where the Eurocity can just fly by and then take the curve off towards the north, towards the Baltics. So with this very important addition to the game, to the safe game, to the city of Warsaw, this episode is done. I hope you enjoyed it, and in the next episode we will take care of the city even more and see you then once again. Bye bye.